Hey everyone, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and this little Costanza right here, this little tiny Costanza, is Bespin.
Yeah,
How you doing, dude?
I'm little Costanza. Yeah,
He's all.
that's
I
my
am
rap name
small.
now, by the way.
I am small.
Little Costanza, that's my rap name.
Little Costanza. But yeah. So today, Mr. Brian Bestino, that's his name. He used to be on Married with Children.
Mm.
He has some information for us that well, I don't know what it's gonna make you. Does it make you happy? Does it make you sad? I don't know. You guys, you could tell us. It's definitely. I don't mean it to belittle the scoop, but it's like, geez, it's unfortunate that we should have saw it coming. But of course, remember you were on what 3 weeks ago now when you were like, I remember we were like the sky is falling.
Yeah, it was about 3 weeks ago. I was like, listen, I need to like talk to you after this because I've heard some stuff, and I was like,
Yeah,
it's not great. um,
yeah,
and like, I know like some people are asking like, what did he say? What is it? Blah blah blah. This is
right.
it. To
This
an
is it.
extent, this is it.
Yeah,
Like,
this is it. And like, I remember at the time you were like, oh, this all could change. I don't really want to report this because everything is fluid.
mm-hmm.
And then like I just talked about a plan if X, Y, and Z happens, that if they're talking internally, then I had like people going, well, that's not true. And it's like, oh, I didn't say that. So I don't blame you for
Yeah,
sitting on this one for
yeah,
3 weeks. And then but we started to see some other movement too that just further even confirmed your stuff. I mean, I know you've talked to people. I trying to help you went and hit up a source just a little while ago and don't have anything more to add to it other than yeah, everything's fucked. that's
yeah,
that's that's like the gist of it, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. It all started like, so I want to say like about a month ago. Like a source I was speaking to, like, who's been, good for me in the past, and
Mhm.
we're talking about Skeleton Crew because I'm looking forward to it. And
Yeah.
like I had said months ago, like reported months ago, that it was looking at late November, early December. That was before Jaleel White said it, and
Yeah.
like he was like, yeah, I think it's still like late November. I was like, cool, and then I was gearing up for that essentially, and then 3 weeks ago, you like,
Mhm.
find out that yeah, like no, not anymore. And
Oh,
like again, at the same time, just because I like a lot of stuff, not just Star Wars. I asked about the Marvel stuff,
yeah.
and I
You
was
told me
told,
this.
yeah, that's not like gonna go to plan either. And Echo specifically, I was told, wasn't on the release schedule for this year.
Mhm.
So on Friday, when the Marvel stuff came out, I was like, okay, I've got to move. Like,
What without going into like the whole thing, like what's the gist of the Marvel stuff? Because I don't really know it very well either.
it's in this. It's in this.
Oh, it is in this? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then before we go on to the article, right here is the link to support Bespin Bulletin at coffee.com/Bespin Bulletin. That's ko-fi.com/Bespin Bulletin. And that's where you could give him a coffee. The last one he got was way too long ago from my co-host Rob telling him he's a fat son of a bitch. So you could send him that message too and tell him that as well.
It was actually
Likes the abuse.
a fat piece of shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, how about somebody sends you a coffee and calls you a fat son of a bitch? Because
that would
I
be
don't know
cool.
what your
That would be
mom
cool.
did, but I know she deserves it. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah,
sorry,
yeah, yeah.
not
It's
fair.
all
That's
good.
not. I shouldn't have brought
Um,
mom. I shouldn't have brought mamas into this.
I said if anybody ever wants to send me abuse, as long as it's got like a couple of dollars attached to it, it's fine.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Um, so yeah.
yeah. Or a woman in leather, whichever. He'll take.
Mm,
He'll take it from either. I
yeah.
think.
Again, it's just it's helpful. It's appreciated if anybody does do it.
All right. So your article is as exclusive.
Mm,
That's because it's you. Star Wars Skeleton Crew delayed to 2024. Additional series possibly delayed. So, the live action Star Wars series created by John Watts, Spider Man No Way Home, and Christopher Ford, Spider Man Homecoming, was set to release towards the end of this year. But from what I've been hearing from sources, the series has been delayed to 2024. See, you went first person there. Now they think it's me. So,
mm,
my exclusive now. And then this is where you can find the links on bestmanbulletin.com for Patreon and his coffee. Um, And feel free to abuse him at either one. I don't really care which one you abuse him at. It's fine with
Mm-hmm.
me. Skeleton Crew began filming in the summer. Well, you prefer coffee because I think you get more of the cut on coffee.
I get more of the cut on coffee, yeah.
Cut on coffee. All right, Skeleton Crew began filming in the summer of 2022 and wrapped in January, February of this year. Whoa, with a planned release for later in the year. And I'm sure you say it in the article, but Skeleton Crew is fucking pretty much done. Like they could release it today if they probably wanted to. Originally, I had heard that the series was aiming to release in November or December this year, something I mentioned in a past article months before. One of the actors in the series, Urkel, Purple Urkel creator, Jalil White, confirmed that Skeleton Crew was looking to release at that time I had mentioned. As months went by, days, hours, minutes, seconds, metric, standard, imperial systems, I kept hearing that a late November release was on the cards, and I was gearing up to release that information around 3 weeks ago. That was until I started hearing rumblings of a delay. And if for the record, I know that when like you and I, dude, we can do 1,000 things correct over the years, and then there'll be somebody like, I don't believe it, or that sounds really convenient. Well, go back to the show, like I said, 3 weeks ago, we had Bespin Bulletins on. We're literally talking about it. I think the podcast episode, when I retitled it, it's the sky's falling, just because we were like, get into specifics, but it was really kind of clear what that meant, I think. So, anyways, Bespin Bulletin goes on to write. Since then, sources have informed me that Skeleton Crew has been delayed until an unknown time in 2024. I've spent the last couple of weeks attempting to gather more information, but I didn't get much outside of its apparent delay. One person I spoke with mentioned that the series could be delayed by an entire year, looking at a November 2024 release. But I could not get that information confirmed by a second source. One source mentioned that the current schedule for Star Wars live action content is in flux and fluid due to the ongoing SAG-AFTRA and WGA strikes, which is now going to video games, guys. It's great. Which means other series planned for 2024, such as The Acolyte, the High Republic era series created by Russian dolls Leslie Headland. Somebody just got really upset when they heard her name, because that's how it happens on YouTube, you weirdos. A series I've heard Lucasfilm are confident in. Oh boy, you are correct on that, Mr. Bespin.
Like I've only heard
the
like
one, right?
thing. Yeah.
That's the one we'd say they're betting the farm on, probably.
Yeah, I think it's probably the one that next year that looking forward to the most.
Yeah,
I'd say. Like it feels like the big one.
Yeah, and then we got the second and final season of Andor, along with Acolyte, could both suffer delays. We know, thanks to comments from Andor creator Tony Gilroy, that the series was aiming to release in August of 2024, but that release is now uncertain and likely delayed. Probably into 2025, I'd imagine. Andor paused production shortly after the SAG-AFTRA strike began, but only had a few weeks left to film, according to reports. The Acolyte I had previously heard was aiming to release in the second quarter of 2024. Watch. We're going to end up having like where Diego Luna gains like 40 pounds and they have to film like the last shots. And then all of a sudden he's like, for some other role. He looks like a different guy. But now this seems unlikely. His hair's gray. But now this seems unlikely. I expect a delay for the Acolyte. So, cool, man. Cool. Nice exclusive, Bummer Town, dude. Thanks, man. But nowhere near as significant as the one Skeleton Crew might have. However, I've heard that The Mandalorian Season 4 was due to release in 2025. This was before both strikes, and I'm hearing 2025 for the fourth season. So that makes sense. The various Star Wars series are not only shakeups happening at Disney Plus, as the streaming service has delayed multiple studio series. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the series impacted including Echo, the Hawkeye spin-off series, which was due to release all episodes on November 29th, will now release sometime in January 2024. Additionally, Marvel have delayed Agatha Darkhold Diaries, formerly Agatha Coven of Chaos, from a late 2023 release date until the early fall of next year. which feels more fitting for of a release window. Following Loki season 2's upcoming October release, Marvel Studios next has 2 series set to release that will be animated. The second season of What If is due to release around December 25th, so Christmas. And X-Men 97, which is the thing I'm the most excited about, is due to release in early 2024. By the way, I think Rob and I are gonna cover every episode of X-Men 97 on this channel, probably. So if you're down with that, Bespin, you're invited. Marvel Studios planned live-action series originally set to release in 2024, including Daredevil, Born Again, Ironheart, and Wonder Man, have all been indefinitely delayed. And that doesn't mean canceled. That just means fuck knows when, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah. Lucasfilm and Disney are currently, I think that indefinitely delayed has become synonymous with canceled because so many corporations don't want to admit they canceled something forever. So they use indefinitely delayed, just hoping that you forget. But in this instance, these shows are probably a little bit more expensive, right? Have these shows filmed?
Daredevil has been filming. It stopped when SAG went on strike. Ironheart is done, and Wonder Man was filming. So.
Okay, so most likely they won't be scratched. Lucasfilm and Disney are currently airing Ahsoka, a spinoff of The Mandalorian, and have a successor to the animated series, Star Wars Rebels. To Star Wars. See, you didn't do anything wrong because I think you just did what it was supposed to, how it's supposed to go.
I know,
but Disney, that's not supposed to be the fucking like colon, because they fucking wanted it to be like Star Wars is rebelling, you guys. The teens are gonna think that's cool, and I'm not fucking around. That's really why that happened. It's ridiculous. Hopefully, I think they should. Yeah, once a rebel, always a rebel. No. We agreed that in Star Wars, W's and R's are interchangeable now. So once a Webble, always a Webble. Yeah. We just ruined it for you guys, by the way. Whenever you see that, that's what you're gonna hear now.
We spent an hour just playing a game, just doing this to each other, just like replacing random words with W.
Webble scum.
Yeah.
All right. The series has received Ahsoka has received positive reactions from critics and fans alike. Star Wars fans should make the most of the live action series, as it might be a significant amount of time until the next one hits our screens. So yeah,
very positive.
Very, very positive. Everything's looking great. I mean, and it's like it's telling. I mean, when you think back to what we were reporting earlier in the year, it was Mando 3 was a overworked shit show. No one had a good time. Ahsoka was sort of like the place to be. Things aren't going too bad. No one's too overworked. Skeleton Crew, everybody's fucking quitting all the time because this place is garbage to work for, and we're overworked, and we're still going, and it's bad. And there's a shit manager who's making it all worse, trying to make sure that we get the schedule done at all cost. And why was that? Well, it was because this nightmare scenario that they're in, that they engineered. That's the other part to remember. They Palpatine this shit. They knew this was going to happen, and they made extra Star Wars shows extra fast to make sure that they had things to cover themselves for this period.
Well, it's why Favreau wrote the script for season 4 so early. It's to so it once it was over and they were originally thinking it would be over in the fall, they could get straight into filming, which is obviously not going to be the case at this point, it seems. And this is funny because because me and you started talking about the strikes before it was big, before
we were on it, we were spoiling the future. I think on that one,
because I remember because a source around the time Skeleton Crew wrapped, and I was what's next, and he's like, nothing for a long time. We got this big block.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, why? And he's like, the strike, the writer's strike. And I was like, okay. And I talked to you, and we were we delved into it, and we started talking about it before most of the others did. And they obviously they planned for it, and at that time, me and you were talking Disney are probably best prepared more than most in terms of streaming service. Because Skeleton Crew was done, Ahsoka was done, a bunch of the Marvel shows is done, Agatha and
this was This was back when we didn't know that Bob Iger was willing to let them lose their homes.
Yeah, this is way before that.
Way more innocent time. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, everybody's very reasonable here.
Yeah, like it was. So we had like we was like, oh, we have those 3 Marvel shows: Loki, Agatha, Ironheart. That'll do, and they'll have Acolyte and Skeleton Crew and Ahsoka. Like Disney have like the most content ready to go, and it's like we get here and it's like, okay, like now all of these things could be getting delayed. Skeleton Crew was supposed to see the year out, and no, it's not apparently. Like I said in the article, it says could be up to a year. Again, I gotta emphasize the word like could, because I don't know. Like everything, as I said in the article, is like fluid and in flux. Like it's I don't know it. If I know a rough window, I'll tell people when the rough window is.
Yeah.
But at this point, like I need to emphasize this could be up to a year, not like that it is. So yeah, now we're seeing the impact of it with these shows. Like, Disney still have stuff coming out this year, but it's nothing you and I are interested in. It's like the Percy Jackson series and
oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Stuff like that. So,
sorry. I love Percy.
For me and you, we kind of fall into a place on Disney Plus where we repeat last year, like where Ando ended and we had like Willow, and Willow like was the thing that carried it until Mando, which was in March. Like we're going to that place again for us because it's like, well, I didn't really watch anything on Disney from that period, and we're going to hit that again maybe. Yeah, it's an odd one. Like, and what's happening is it's coming out at a time where they're going to raise prices on Disney Plus as well. So yeah, like I think the UK price goes up in like December, and it's like, well, why am I going to pay you X amount of money when I'm not watching your content?
Yeah.
And the same could be said to any like other streamer, because I'm sure they're all going to be like this. You just saw HBO delay True Detective to January, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's really that corporation having overextended and overspent on complete garbage outside of what the moneymakers truly are for like 3 years. And then now they're like, okay, well, let's let the consumer fix this for us. Let's have the consumer fix our bad calls. Only 2 years ago, Bob Iger was calling Disney Plus an archival service that wasn't really competitive against other services on the market. That's why it was going to release for $7.99 or whatever it was when it hit. And he was completely right and honest when he said that. And I'm sorry, but I don't think they've made enough content in that time to justify doubling the price. And that's all based off of the fact, like I said, all of those bad calls that they made. My go-to is the Tom Hanks as Geppetto movie that nobody needed, that they probably paid out the ass for, most likely, and stuff like that. Even if that one was cheap, and so like for it's a weird place for them to be, because like it's nice to have Mando on, just to be able to watch Mando, for instance, and all the Star Wars films in 4K and have it all in demand and stuff like that. Is it like basically $20 a month good if you round up? No, it's not. It's not that good. It's not that good to me. And like Mando's coming out. What was the suggested rate to like $40 or something for like Mando season 1? And so you're going to be able to probably pick it up for around $34 most likely when it very first comes out. And if they end up releasing all of those shows, number one, it's going to make it less reason to have it. But also, if you think about it, if this ends up being our future here, if all of this pans out this way, it does make sense for you guys to buy the shows on disc. And if they go to digital services like Vudu and Apple, whatever Apple's thing is called now, and stuff like that, your Amazon, wherever you buy your digital films and TV shows, it may actually be cheaper for you to buy those things throughout than to have Disney Plus for like 2 years with just like a month worth of content here and there. I haven't done the math on it, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to fall. And so that's what I'll probably buy Mando digitally if they do offer it.
I think
why not?
when we alluded to this like 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, we were talking about the Disney Plus subscription. I think it might have been like it was the price rises, and I was like, well, I don't know if I'll stay subscribed. I was trying to like hint at it to be like, well, you know, because of all this and like not just Star Wars but the Marvel stuff. Like there is a crossover there. Like so, you know, I like Disney Plus over here. Obviously, I get like the FX shows and Hulu shows and whatever else. You know, so maybe there will be stuff there that keeps me there during that period, but like probably not. You know, like I keep up to date with what's gonna be coming out, and there's nothing seemingly on the horizon that excites me. But like Skeleton Crew, like seeing the trailer at Celebration and wherever else, like that was exciting. Like they looked good. I was excited for that show. And now it's like, okay, we're not getting it this year. It's probably going to be sometime next. Don't know when. So yeah, like you know, I could use that time, and I think like you know, listeners and viewers can use that time to subscribe to a different service. Maybe check out some other shows that you're waiting to check off. There's some good stuff on Apple. Like if you don't have Apple TV.
What's that one that I liked a lot? That was with the people who go to work. I can't remember the name of it.
Severance.
And they like what?
Severance.
Yeah, Severance. I like Severance a lot. That was a fun time. I mean, it was horrifying, but it was yeah.
I think Bo Willimon is writing on the second season of that from Andor.
From Andor. Yeah. Nice.
And I think he had a larger role in like future seasons too.
So Azatru says, I redeemed my 6 months free for Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew. Big regret. Won't be using the service once Ahsoka is done. Yeah, I actually wonder if you could take that video where it showed the stuff coming this year and showed Skeleton Crew. I wonder if you could write customer service and be like, you told me in this video this was going to be out. I would like my voucher just, you know, I would like a new voucher or to have it redeemed. I wonder if you can do that. Might be worth a try. I mean, it's only a few minutes to send the message to the customer service and see what happens, because it is kind of a bait and switch thing, you know, when they do that. But you never know. With Disney, sometimes they bend backwards to help the customers. Other times they don't. And then Blue sent the super chat. Blue, I was just about to hit that. He says, "Hey Jason, I think you might have missed my super chat. It was the very start of the show." Yeah, we're gonna hit it right now, Blue. Actually, thank you for the super chat, by the way, Blue. Blue gave 199 super chat and says, "Hey crew, are those Reddit leaks true? Seems weird. Should I put the article up and then go to it, or do you want to just answer straight out?"
I'll just answer it. Yeah, like So when I did the Anakin article a week ago, wherever it was, about that he's going to appear in the 5th episode, I like me and you alluded to it like last week. Because there's a thing specifically said in that like Reddit leak, which I had told you. I was like, "There's this specific shot," and I was like, and then they almost mentioned it. They don't say it like as I hear it, but
it was close enough that when I saw that, that's when I was like, "I'm not saying this is fake," because there's something here that's kind of really standing out to me that's not out there. And
and this was like whoever the user is, like they have said things now that I had heard, like like how episode 4 ends, was like they mentioned that recently, and I was like, okay, like that is what I heard, which is, you know, Ahsoka gets flung off the cliff and into the water, she's like drowning, and that's when she enters the world between worlds. Like, but the cliffhanger is that she is drowning, like and then obviously we're going to the 5th episode, which is Anakin, which is stuff, you know, you've reported on before, the Mustafar stuff, and maybe Vader. And I said that he speaks to her directly during that. And then, so there's things in there that I feared, which seems to be true. So I assume all of the stuff being posted on Reddit from this guy is legit.
It's the what happens with somebody who has real stuff, and I'm not this person, I don't get the vibe from them that this is what they'll do, but what happens is they have, let's just say A, B, C, and D are real, right? And when they put A, it was true, B was true, C was true, D was true, right? And then that's the end of it, and then everybody's still looking to them going, "Daddy, I want milk," and then they don't know what to do, and then they just start going. I've seen this time and time again over the years. When anybody comes onto the little leak scene new, it's like they either do that or they have the strength to be like, leave me alone. I got nothing else. When they do, you know what I mean? And that's what's hard. And it's funny because I see this in the UFO stuff too, where like somebody will get like a leak, from like the military or something like that. And it's true. And then you look back on them 6 months later and they're like, at UFO conventions talking about lizard people and stuff. And it's like, there we are. There's a lot of pressure to produce when people want answers. And, but point being, this guy is just doing it on Reddit. He's deleting the stuff after he does it. Doesn't seem to be answering anything that he doesn't want to. So
but people are collecting what he says, you know what I mean?
People are collecting, yeah. And his username is out there. I'm not really sure why he deletes it. I don't think that's really an answer. Like if Lucasfilm has your name and they're gonna start digging on you, they've already started digging on you.
And it's not uncommon that like, so it is in many ways because like, they have that like wild rumors thing, and people, we've seen it before. We've seen the usual suspects, and they post not real things.
It's always a new account from the same person. Is the point that we're trying to make?
Yeah,
same people.
There was this like this is from years ago, but like somebody posted on Reddit like years ago that Baby Yoda's name was Grogu. Like they posted it got deleted, and there it was. It turned out to be true. So there are instances where like a user with no like background, it seems, can get stuff like
all the time.
And like you said, this person might just have this Ahsoka stuff. They might not know anything else,
Yeah.
And we don't know if somebody works on the show. We don't know anything about them. Like
I've even had instances where somebody has stuff, tells somebody, that person tells me, I look into it checks out, I report it, and then the person who told them comes to me and then just starts telling me directly, because at that point they're like, might as well clarify. Like, yeah, the way that information travels, the way it moves and stuff like that, it's super interesting, but it's very fluid, and you just never know what's going to happen. But the stuff this person is saying is checking out.
Yeah, so like he mentioned Marrok, like, and obviously I did this article based on that guy where he said that Marrok's identity will be revealed in the 4th episode.
Yeah. Like, so like, yeah, let's get into your article really quickly, and with the little caveat that just personally, it drives me fucking crazy when there is absolutely nothing in this narrative that should be making anybody question who Marrok is, wondering why. There's never a moment where the characters ponder it. There's never a moment where the camera even lingers on him to make you answer or make you ask the question. There was never a scene like when they want you to ask a question, think back to Boba Fett coming into season 1 of Mandalorian, and we see his little feats, and you hear the spur sound effect, and oh shit, that should be Boba, but is it? That's how they do it. When they want you to ask questions, they're really obvious about it.
They want you to ask questions about everything. Who's Rey's like parents? Like who is Snoke? Like what happened to Luke and his like the Jedi Temple? Blah blah blah. That whole film wanted you to ask questions because it keeps buzz going for the next 2 years, and But with this, nobody's ever made a big deal about Marrok other than fans have sort of forced it to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much since we saw him like back at Celebration for the first time, they've sort of forced it. Like, oh, is it going to be Barriss? Is it going to be Starkiller? And now that the show's on, they're pushing like the Starkiller one a lot, and and Clone Ezra, and
it's like they want to get out ahead of something that they think is going to happen, that might happen, and then they want to be like, I said it first, kind of thing. Like that's like the like the angle, but there's absolutely nothing that like leads to this. So let's get into the article itself. Star Wars Ahsoka rumor Marrok's identity to be revealed in episode 4 by Bespin Bulletin. And once again, the link to his coffee and his Patreon is here, and I put it in the chat. This week, a Reddit user shared tidbits from the 3rd episode of Ahsoka ahead of its release. This included the space battle and Morgan Elsbeth using the Eye of Sion to shoot down Ahsoka Tano's ship, which also had Hyung and Sabine Wren on board. Though the ship was actually shot down, it was just incapacitated briefly with Ahsoka fending off Shin Hati and her squadron as Sabine rushed to get the ship working again. So whilst the wording is seemingly wrong, there's Mario. It featured an acute tidbit on the Eye of Sion shooting the ship. In now deleted comments, the Reddit user shared the episode 3 information ahead of its release. And thank you, Reddit sharer. We appreciate it. The user claims that the identity of Marrok, the mysterious mercenary and former Inquisitor working alongside Balin Skull, Shin Hati, and Morgan Elsbeth, will be revealed during the 4th episode of Ahsoka, which is due to premiere exclusively on Disney this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m. Unfortunately, the Reddit user did not share any additional details on Marrok or their identity, but we don't have long to wait to find out just who was under that mask. One deleted comment by the user mentioned a character being made of smoke, but it's unclear if they were referring to Marrok. They were. Some fans have speculated that it's a version of Sam Witwer's Star Wars Legends character Starkiller, as Ahsoka showrunner Dave Filoni previously toyed with the idea of having Starkiller be an Inquisitor. Witwer also has been credited for additional voices in Ahsoka and about 30 other Star Wars characters in general. Other theories include Marrok being Ezra Bridger, the lead of Star Wars Rebels, who our heroes are hoping to rescue from the unknown galaxy in which he and Grand Admiral Thrawn are trapped in. And another theory being that Marrok is a clone of Bridger. I think both of these Bridger theories are fucking ridiculous. No, he said highly unlikely. He wrote highly unlikely. That was my editorializing. From we've already talked about Ezra and what's going on there, guys. Like why would anybody who reads spoilers shouldn't even be entertaining that? From what we can gather from the footage released from Ahsoka, we assume that episode 4 will feature Marrok dueling Ahsoka Tano on Cetus, the planet featuring red leaf trees, which Ahsoka, Sabine, and Hayang landed on at the end of episode 3, with Sabine having her second confrontation with Shin Hati on the planet also. We know little else about the episode, but that its runtime seems to be 42 minutes with credits, likely closer to 39-40 without credits, intro, and recap. Given the runtime, I'm left to wonder if we'll see the long-awaited duel between Ahsoka Tano and Balin Skull. You'd assume this is the episode the fight scene and various scenes of promotional material would fit, especially given that we know what we know of episode 5, which you can read here. One thing I've heard from a singular source is that the 4th episode would end on a cliffhanger, perhaps at Ahsoka losing the fight to Balin, and where our hero is left, or in what condition, or possibly the cliffhanger is Ahsoka stepping up to confront Balin. This is all just mere speculation. So what he's trying to say is either like it's going to end with Balin confronting Ahsoka, like lightsabers turn on, end of the episode, oh shit, or she loses the fight, goes into some water, doesn't look good for her, oh shit.
The first one. Yeah. It is the first. It is the, like, at the end of the episode, she gets flung. Yeah. She gets flung, goes into the water, starts to drown. Next episode, World Between Worlds.
Right. Oops. I accidentally removed Bespin instead of the article. Yeah, so that makes sense. And I mean it makes sense for how they would do it and all that stuff. But yeah, Marrok dying and becoming smoke is like a weird thing. And there's also that moment in Star Wars Tales of the Jedi where it happens, right? When that Inquisitor dies, becomes smoke. So the question, the better question would be is, are they the same person?
I have no context for it. Like I said, like when I wrote this when I wrote this article, like a lot of it was speculation because again, like the guy keeps deleting his comments, so I could see the comment, I couldn't see what it's in relation to, and then so I didn't know if he was referring to Marrok, and then like days later, like I heard that like myself, I was like he's a smoke man, smoke, not Snoke. We don't need any theory videos on the Smoke Man being Snoke, but yeah, so Marrok is Marrok. Like this, like that's all there is to it. That he's nobody special, it seems, and doesn't need to be.
And my other question, because I don't know the answer, is the Inquisitor who died in Tales of the Jedi, does he have a name? Because if he does, and it's like James, then we know it's not the same guy, because that's Marrok, that's James.
Was the person who died in the Tales of the Jedi, wasn't it like a female Inquisitor?
I don't remember now. But
I don't know. But
maybe there were a couple of smoke people, and then they became Inquisitors, and then they got killed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how do you it's weird. How do you die? When you get hit with when you kill a smoke monster with a lightsaber, that's kind of a weird. I don't even care if that's how they die. That's how they die. I don't give a shit. It's like a weird visual. But is it Night Sister magic? Is the thing I keep wondering. Because remember, there was like that green and black kind of shit that kind of goes around, like the zombies and stuff. And I'm kind of wondering if there's more of a connection to that stuff. Just speculating.
Yeah, I have no idea. Nobody's told me that it's connected to a Night Sister. Nobody told me that it's connected to Elspeth. Like, all we know about him, about Marrok, is that he's former Inquisitor, so he's been around for a long time, and is a mercenary who works with Shin and Balin. Like, I think
because I could see a story. I could see a backstory with that where Shin and Balin killed that guy.
Yeah, maybe.
And then they know where he was killed. The witch takes him there. They resurrect him. You work for us now. You know what I mean? And James is Marrok. He can't confirm it, but he is.
I knew it was James the moment I saw Marrok's ass. Like.
Yeah, it was because it was smoking, right?
Because it was smoking. I call him Big Smoke.
But yeah, well, yeah. So I mean, it's cool. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind there being weird stuff like that. The smoke man reminds me of Lost, but it also reminds me of the fell light man that they tried to do in Return of the Jedi. Try to have this like giant like light creature that walked through Jabba's palace. Chris Bridges says Enoch when I would say Thrawn when you get to Thrawn, that's when you'll get your Enoch. I'm like Arya was messaging me last night going, when do we get Thrawn? And I was like, I can't promise you anything except for like 7, 8, 9. If he comes before then,
there's no 9. There's no 9.
I didn't mean 9. I meant to say 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah. 6 is when you're going to see him.
Yeah, that's what I think.
6 is also, I believe, when you see Ezra. I think you see them on the same episode.
Yes, yeah, that's what I think too. I mean, all of that like lines up and checks out. So yeah, so Enoch then I would say, and but as things go, the people who told me about Enoch were enthusiastic about him, but I don't have anything to add to Enoch, so I'd say, maybe try not to get too excited about it. Who knows if it'll live up to the Spreezy.
Don't Marrok yourself, Spreezy.
Don't white Jedi robe this Enoch guy just yet. Is my point.
I would.
Chris Spreezy loves white Jedi robes. It's like a kink of his or something, and he's into it, man. So yeah. Ben asked, my question for both of you guys is, do we finish the trailer shots this week? Like, will we see a glimpse of Thrawn?
Well, the trailer shots of Thrawn he's on like Dive Scion, so I don't think that happens this week. There's also 2 different ones of Hera, like this left. It's her and Jason are taking a ship, like hype space, and then there's another of her in the cockpit of Ahsoka's ship with Huyang and Sabine. Okay. So at some point, she changes ships. I told you again. This is just a theory. This is like I know nothing. This is just a single theory that I have. I was like, what if Hera is gonna go with them, or what if she does go with them, and she just stays on the ship, like she doesn't actually get involved in the conflict necessarily. And Huyang takes Jason back. And my theory on this is simple. It's just that Jason wants to be a Jedi. Huyang made the joke that it's not even a joke to him, it's reality. But that Sabine isn't very good. She's probably the worst Jedi ever. He could see something in Jason, and obviously Ezra's going to come back. He's not going to come back in this series, but he's going to come back to our galaxy at some point. And it feels fitting that he would be the one to train Jason.
Yeah, the symmetry would make fans cry.
Yeah, I think so. So maybe
I mean, that would love you nerds.
Yeah, so that could be I don't know. The end of the 5th episode could be they go off to that galaxy. Maybe they don't till the 6th, but I don't think we're gonna finish the trailer shots this week.
Yeah,
you know, we've got at least another 2 weeks to go because of the Thrawn thing, at least.
Right. Oh, and a favor to ask someone with Photoshop skills. Can you take the picture of Costanza that with George Costanza lighting his cigarette with that lighter and turn the lighter flame into a lightsaber? So he's lighting it on a lightsaber. So that could be his avatar. That'd be pretty good. Sorry.
Not a bad idea. Yeah.
That would be a pretty good one for you.
It would.
But yeah, I would love that like your theory to pan out there that Kanan's son is trained by Ezra, because they would have that would add like an extra level of connection and like intimacy between those two as it goes forward as well. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell like Luke Skywalker is really into the idea that like his father was a Jedi and that he was with Kenobi and that kind of stuff. So it all kind of like lines up in interesting ways. That would
they've set that weird thing up with Ahsoka as well, where like they were like, well, you don't come from a lineage of Jedi who was supposed to be Jedi, or like or whatever. So like she's got that there from Anakin to Ahsoka to Sabine, and then you have Kanan, Ezra, Jason. Like I think they've set themselves up in a few ways. Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, so we end up with pretty soon. Me and Mr. Harris are going to do a video together pretty soon.
Is this the Mr. Harris that like supported me on Patreon recently?
I believe it would be him.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Harris. It's very appreciated.
Yeah, Mr. Harris.
I just recognized the name when it popped up, like because I think it's the last pledge I had. So
yeah,
thank you.
Nice guy. Yeah, we'll be talking about Galaxy's Edge. God, the Galactic Starcruiser experience this week together, and yeah, it's gotta say, without spoiling it, without getting into it, boy, all of the problems we identify with them promoting Star Wars on these television shows and everything in general is exemplified in the Galactic Starcruiser, like where their product is good, but you're so afraid of spoilers that you made it where you could not sell your product. And it's ridiculous because what they showed me was laughable. The experience was, I would say, pretty amazing.
Well, the kids had a great time. So
that was the best part. They kept asking me like, what was your favorite part? Like, as we're like leaving, and the reality is it was like my kids having the best time they've ever had in their whole lives. My son is like really dry, Luke, he won't fake anything, but he's also just like, yes, I had fun. And he did. It was pretty funny. I was like, hey, did you have a good time? And he's like, yeah, it was really good. But like with Luke, that's like, wow, man, it was the best time of my life. But on the way home, he kept reminiscing. That's how I knew it was good. But
the most excitement I've ever got out of Luke is when I ask him to like tell me stuff about Fortnite lore. And he just
Fortnite lore.
He's like an encyclopedia. Like, he
got his license, man.
He got his license, yeah. Like, so no.
It's that and Attack on Titan. Those are the two things that we can go, okay, let me tell you a little something about life.
Yeah. Yeah, and then have we got anything else on article stuff? Oh, the views. The views.
Oh, well, yeah, we already covered the views. I covered the views as that one I was like covering that, and then that article hit. You were with me, so we kind of already did that.
Did we explain it to him?
Yeah. Okay. We well, you know what? Let's just pop it up really quickly. If you got can you stay for another 10 minutes? Is you cool with that?
Yeah, I could do 15.
I know you're short on time today, so
I could do like 15.
Okay, Star Wars Ahsoka Episode 4 runtime seemingly confirmed by director.
Oh, we did that one. It's also in Marrok.
That was
I shoved it in there.
Wait, what? What am I doing now? I'm confused.
You're looking for the views.
The views. The 14 million, right?
Yeah, like that is not like what it seems.
Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, I tweeted this stuff out like a few times. I was like, come on, guys. Like this is it was in another article. I think what was it? Was it Variety who had the true thing? But we'll pull it up right now and look at it. Disney and Lucasfilm boasts 14 million views for Star Wars Ahsoka, but the numbers are not quite what they seem, what it seems. Earlier today, Lucasfilm and Disney shared via StarWars.com that the first episode of Ahsoka which debuted a week ago on Disney Plus, brought in 14 million views. This announcement is unusual behavior for Disney, who typically don't share the numbers of views a specific TV series or movie gets on their streaming service. Man, Mario's getting mad about it. Though the numbers may seem impressive, there's more to the story than just the headline that Lucasfilm and Disney shared. And once again, you can support them on Coffee, Patreon, like Thomas. Disney and Lucasfilm, yeah, like Disney and Lucasfilm shared the first episode of Ahsoka globally, or that Ahsoka globally earned 14 million views. Views. He put it like, this does not represent unique viewers, which is how TV was traditionally reported. And just like slight devil's advocate, like when a TV household shows, like where it's like the Nielsen's and they know like you're a family of 5, then they're able to count that numbers, but they still don't know if the neighbors came over to watch the end of Lost with you, for instance. That kind of stuff. Like it's always it's always been a weird game. So anyways, as it goes on, an example of this is The Last of Us from Hobo. That's a network called Hobo. HBO. A series that premiered in earlier this year. Hobo reported that the series opener for The Last of Us brought in 18 million viewers, unique viewers, within its first week of release in the United States, but that the series continued to grow and the average viewership for the individual episodes grew to around 30 million viewers by the time of the season finale's release. This equates to 30 million individuals watching an episode of The Last of Us once, even if that individual watched multiple times. They're only considered to be one unique viewer. And this is where the difference in the Ahsoka reporting appears. So Lucasfilm are sharing that Ahsoka garnered 14 million views for its premiere episode within its first week globally. But this does not represent 14 million unique viewers individuals. The Hollywood Reporter shared that this is the part right here that people need to pay attention to. The Hollywood Reporter shared that Disney have seemingly adopted the latest Netflix model in this recent report. Netflix's definition of a view is the total runtime spent watching a series or movie divided by its running time. As stated by THR, this method does not equate to actual views, and the watch time equation does not shed light on just how many unique viewers are tuning into a specific movie or TV series. And like reality, it needs to be like households, like 14 million households watch, because we don't know how many people watch it with me. With me, it's me and my 2 kids.
Well, it's not even that. It's not even like they could have just put it on for a second and then like turned it off.
Right. Right. And then that could happen. And at the same time too, like I watch all of them 3 times. Like I seriously do. I watch about every episode about 3 times. I watched the first time just to enjoy myself, give my impressions. I watched the second time to be like, were my impressions correct? For a little bit of depth. And I usually watch it again after it's settled, but before the next episode airs. So I'm, on the same page as the show, because I talk about it too. But I'm crazy, but I think most Star Wars fans probably do watch them twice. For example, Netflix's action flick Extraction 2 had 88.4 million hours of viewing time worldwide from June 12th, 2023 to June 18th, 2023. Netflix divided that by its runtime of 124 minutes, which they then equated to 42.8 million views. As pointed out by Deadline, this way of counting views assumes that every time a user watches a new series or film, that said user would complete the viewing each time. Thus, it inflates the unique views. However, it is far more likely that some users are watching multiple times, while many never even make it to the end of the episode or movie the first time. And yesterday it was reported by a third-party Samba TV. Remember, Samba's always been a sample. That's the whole thing. Grifters like to use Samba as gospel, to be like, only a million people watched it. This show's not even as big as the Clone Wars, So Samba TV, that Ahsoka brought in 1.2 million unique views for its first episode and 956,000 for its second. Samba's reporting is simply a slice of the true numbers of the episode's viewership and does not paint the full picture, as Samba are only able to collect data from around 28 million devices, most of them Samsung, I believe. Samba's reporting revealed that Ahsoka had less unique views within its first week that The Mandalorian season 3 1.6 million, Book of Boba Fett 1.7 million, and Obi-Wan Kenobi 2.4 million. Samba added that Ahsoka's first episodes had a comparable viewership to Andor's first episode. Another third-party data collector, Plum Loco Research, I added the loco, reported that Andor gained 20 million unique viewers over the course of its run, whereas the Book of Boba Fett Obi-Wan Kenobi performed significantly better with 30 million unique viewers for the former and 33 million for the latter. Now, I was telling you when we were like, me and you were talking about this as it was like breaking and we were analyzing it. I'm like, what is good about this is Disney releasing that number now. We can gauge what they would say these other shows did.
Yeah, so we're now doing weird math.
We're doing weird math, but we can estimate, and we could also tell, like, so, that show really did bomb or did really rock, or whatever.
Yeah, so they said Ahsoka had 1.2 million within this first week. The Kenobi had 2.4 million, so it's literally double. So we'd assume it's literally double then, so 28 million for Kenobi.
Yeah, they would say Kenobi had 28 million. And once again, all of these numbers are dog shit. We hate it. We don't like this game. It's not our preference.
We like what they did with the HBO Last of Us thing, which is like the unique viewers. It's 18 million unique viewers. Like, this seems to be no funny business there.
Yeah. Transparency in regards to viewership is a key part of the ongoing Writers Guild of America and Screen Actors Guild strikes, which have been taking place since May and July. And for the record, they don't care what we know. They want to know what the true numbers are, so that way they know if their checks are correct.
Yeah, they can get paid fairly.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's like I said, it's like, imagine going to work and being like, hey, can I see my time card? And them going, absolutely not. Here's your $100. That's what you earned. That's fucking crazy. No one else would accept that anywhere else, and they shouldn't either. Both the writers and actors are asking for residuals or revenue sharing for how well a TV show performs. I mean, realistically, YouTube is more transparent than these guys got. Sad. Okay, you can support the actors and writers on strike in various ways, including donating to the DSLA, who have been providing funds on the picket lines with food and water, along with the Entertainment Community Fund, which supports those in the industry that are in need of emergency financial assistance. Remember when the like little mob tried to go after you for like an hour because they were acting like
they went after me for a weekend.
They were acting like we weren't supposed, like, oh no, people can't even report on struck stuff. It's like, if you're in those fucking things, you idiots. We're not in the WGA.
It wasn't even that. They were like having to go at me because the title was this, like, SAG after strike. What does it mean for Star Wars? Like, again, it was there for the people who read the site who only care about Star Wars.
On the Star Wars site.
People who actually bothered to read it was complaining that I spent most of the time talking about the strikes and what it means. And then the people who didn't were just like, if you only care about Star Wars, you're an idiot. Like, and just having to go at me for that. And I'm like, well, you clearly didn't read it, mate, because I'm on their side. Like, clearly, I'm criticizing Iger and obviously mocking about him as time was going on. But
and when the shit was going down, the people in those jobs came to us to be like, get our story out.
Yeah, when Skeleton Crew stuff was like not going well, we heard from individuals who wanted us to like help them essentially by like
so pay attention to who those people are, because they are literally just the mob with the pitchforks that want to get Frankenstein every time.
And again, we were speaking about the strikes like months before they happened, before these people were even mentioning anything.
Before it was before it enabled the validation button of the little heart that when they see it goes, oh god, I'm such a good fucking person. I'm really not a shallow shithead at all. Look at all these likes I get on social media. That's the game. They don't like it when you articulate it for them, though. Trust me. But anyways, good on you for sharing the link to that. For them, because I mean we love the stuff that they do. And it's like they're being squeezed out by these fucking monsters.
I mean, if it wasn't for these people, we wouldn't have the stuff that we love. We wouldn't have these Star Wars shows. We wouldn't have anything like movies. So,
no Fast 10.
No Fast 10. Well, I got Fast 10. I haven't got Fast 10 Part 2 yet.
I still haven't watched Fast 10. I don't think I've only watched Fast 9. But when I was on my trip, my I'm phoneless, by the way. I should have said this at the top of the show. If any sources or friends are trying to get a hold of me, see this right here. This is all I can do. Yeah, see that flash?
Yeah.
See that green flash? Like that's what I get. And then it's stuck like this. There's all these things you can do.
Symbol on it now.
Huh? Yeah. Now I'm trying to kill the battery entirely. I'm hoping that the battery dies entirely and then it somehow makes something change once I charge. It broke on my trip and then it magically came back. And then when the plane got diverted, I restarted the phone and it didn't come back again. And I thought it was the humidity in Florida, but I was in a cold plane when I did that. And so if you try to text me, I won't see it. I'm only able to use iMessage right now on my Mac. So that's where I'm at.
Anything we need to go over ET phone home?
ET phone home, yeah. I mean, I need to get like the fucking speak and spell and a fucking umbrella and like have the weather right and shit, and I'll be able to like, call you and see what's going on, man. But Apple will buy Bob, and you can get a Star Wars branded iPhone. Oh yeah, that would.
Is Apple buying my podcast? Hey, you can buy Bob the podcast if you want.
Yeah,
ain't worth
it.
Would. So,
yeah.
But is there anything we need to go over on the rest of the Skeleton Crew stuff? Or delays? Any questions in it or anything? Or was it cool?
Yeah, I think we did it all. But yeah, if anybody has anything, me and Rob tomorrow night will be covering the Ahsoka episode. And then in between that, probably before that, most likely me and Tom's vacation experience will be on the channel, because we filmed a lot of stuff, which took some videos and pictures and stuff like that, and I want to I really shat on that cruise, that Star Wars cruise experience, and there's way more to love than to hate. And but it does speak to the larger Lucasfilm's issue, like when there's a space bar and there's fucking Yodas in it. And when Yoda like addressed my kid's little group, that was like a top 5 moment of the kid's life. And you wouldn't know it because they were so afraid of, they could have showed Yoda without context. Chosen you are. Like, oh shit, Yoda's there. I need to know what that is. It's called intrigue. Mystery box that shit. But they don't know what they're doing, like always. So, because spoilers. Spoilers. Everything's ruined now. Things are only good one time. Well, yeah. If you don't do a good job, things are only good one time. If you do a good job, things are timeless, and you can watch them over and over and over and over again. Like I always say, I grew up with Luke, I am your father, or no, I am your father, being in the public consciousness, in the mainstream. It doesn't matter like the first
boom knowing it,
Yes, yeah, and oh yeah, people cried in room when Gods came on. There were people like crying as they were like leaving and stuff, and when we meant to say Yoda, when Yoda came on, there was a guy bawling his eyes out and stuff, and you're like, I don't know, man. It's a line for me though. It really is. It's like, but man, I'm glad he was moved. I won't be that big of a dick today. But anyways, yeah, it was a good time. I'm loving Ahsoka. I watched the first 3 episodes again. I just put them on and had them on while I was doing some stuff when I got home, and I was kind of trying to get over the little bit of jet lag that I had, or whatever you want to call it. And I do enjoy the show. It's as the show's coming together, and we got like the 3 episodes. I'm digging it. I think tomorrow when we get tomorrow's the 4th, and I think
today's the like you mean the 4th episode? I thought you meant like the 4th is in 4th September.
Oh no, like the 4th episode. And then at that point, after tomorrow, we will have seen half of the series. We're gonna know pretty much what it is. Tomorrow it's gonna be like we're gonna get into more moving into the intriguing stuff and everything like that.
Positive people are gonna be crying with episode 5. I don't think we will, of course, or Rob, but like.
Rob will cry. He will cry.
He's just gonna cry that he has to deal with hate. Like
he'll cry and then he'll act like he didn't like it. because that means
like,
that means he cried. That means he
all
cried
the
every time.
the Twitter people, you know what I mean? They're gonna have a field day.
Yeah. Like I'm just so fucking empathetic, you guys. Like I like to go after people to like prove how empathetic I am and what a good person. Can you give me a like so I can get my little fix, baby? Please give me my little fix with a little like on my tweet, please.
Yeah, there was this person, like I don't reply to like message requests or anything.
Yeah.
I don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
But like I was just like, this person's like sent me like multiple messages. I clicked it, and it was like, I really don't like you anymore. You only complain about Ahsoka on your podcast. And I was like, I read it. I was like, I give Ahsoka an 8 this week. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
But
then, like,
because people don't understand critical analysis, they think that if you are critical of something because you're literally your job in that moment, that you are now saying it's bad.
Yeah, like, and then
I'm not a cheerleader, and you're not either.
No,
it's not our job to put pom poms on and go, fucking Dave Filoni, give us Star Wars. You're doing it. You're the best, bud. Like every fucking time. Like our job is to go, this worked and that didn't. But you know what? What worked really well. So I still gave it an 8, which is pretty much what you said.
Like,
which is pretty much. I listened to your show. It's pretty much what you said.
Yeah, like I said, I just gave like the criticisms. I feel like I might have done it on this. I called like Morgan Elsbeth like Power Ranger level like acting, like. And like, not like Rita Repulsa, but just like the actual Power Rangers. Yeah. And like that's just like and you say it's a minor criticism because she doesn't have that large of a presence in the latest episode. And it's like everything else I loved. I loved the Sabine stuff. I love the Ahsoka stuff. I really enjoyed the villains. Everything about it. Like I thought it was fun. I thought it was well done. The action sequence, the chase, all of it. But it was so this person I was like replying to my stories and just like I don't respect your opinion. I don't like you. Like just doing this stuff. I was like, this is funny. Like it's because like he's someone an 8, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Tom replied to your article about the things and he wrote like it's Snoke then. Just to fucking be funny. Just to fuck around this guy like was like going off on it. And he was like, look at this crazy shit. And I was like, yeah, that's why Bespin doesn't respond to anybody on social media.
Right like I'm fucking mentally checked out, man. Like, like I've been gone a long time. I come on here, I interact with your viewers. Like if people reply to my like the Q&A thing you have on like the podcast, like if people reply on that, like I'll like take that in and but like in general I don't interact with social media stuff because it's bonkers at this point. Yeah. Like I was looking at somebody tweet like stuff out the other day about like how much they've enjoyed every single Star Wars show. I was like, I know this person. I'm like, I know that's bullshit. Like, like even people who say that they're all like super positive and like they've enjoyed everything and they love everything about every show. And I'm like, behind the scenes, they're telling you different. And it's like, well, I don't know. Like,
Bespin Bulletin's Balin Bonkers. That's your new podcast.
Yeah, that is my new podcast.
Just about Balin. That's it.
People try to get me to change the name like many times.
No, you're not allowed.
The Bespin Bulletin was one because I love Ochi.
Yeah, yeah. That's like, not. It wasn't a bad idea on that one.
It wasn't a bad idea. I even have a Ochi version of my logo made. What?
Guys, Rob's getting the tissues. He knows he's gonna be full of tears tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow when me and Rob go over the episode, I think Rob's gonna be like, bro, like you're gonna see his eyes are a little puffy underneath, because it's been.
No, he's not gonna show his face. He's gonna like force ghost himself. So
is that why he does it? So we can't see him in tears.
Yeah, the Filoni magic.
He's gonna be like, Ahsoka fucking literally died on Mortis, and now she has to deal with this bullshit. That's where he's gonna be because Ahsoka did die and come back on Mortis. Remember that.
She did.
We haven't seen the owl yet, have we? Her little owl friend.
The convor.
Yeah, the convor. We haven't seen that little fucker.
No, we haven't.
Yeah. If I ever see one, I'm gonna kick it though.
I'm surprised maybe we will see it like in the 4th episode.
Yeah.
Like maybe when she's
because it was in Mando, so we know that shit's flying around shitting on her all the time still.
Yeah.
Right?
I like how did it get to these places?
Yeah.
Like, how did it do into planet travel?
Yeah.
Does it just spawn in there?
I think maybe it has its own little bed in her ship and lives in there and stuff.
Yeah.
As there's a Star Wars drought, it's all good. We have Starfield to fill the gap until the Outlaws next year. Like in Starfield, I don't know anything about it, but maybe it's a game I'll get down the road after I finish school.
I'm on PlayStation, Azzy. I can't play that game.
Oh, is that an Xbox exclusive?
It is. Yeah. They finally got one, which is decent. So
that's why I got Xbox, because I was like Starfield,
That's why the Xbox Master Race out now. They had one good game in like 6 years, and then like fuck you.
Yeah. So take that.
Take that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow might have 2 episodes up tomorrow, but at least one. So me and Thomas are gonna go over Galaxy's Edge. I keep calling it Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars Starcruiser, and then we're going to and then me and Rob are Rob's gonna cry about the Ahsoka episode, and he says that Outlaws was originally called No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
I like to mash it up and call it Nomansky. Like it's like a Russian simulator, Nomansky. But anyways, so Bespin, anything else ever going to come out about Star Wars, or is this pretty much it for us? Because I think the next time we get this article is the film slate, right?
Yeah, the film slate, like, again, can't really, we don't do, as things stand.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But like, we'll see in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we don't have any like scoop to give on the film slate, but I don't want to speak for you, but I'm going to. I think you and I included, along with other sources, it doesn't look fucking good. No one understands how that can possibly stay the way that it is in the future. So point being is, you guys should just live in reality on this and understand that things are going to be very fluid for the next year. I would not expect anything to come on time.
Hold on. As a true, like, mentioned, like, Outlaws.
Yeah.
Like, obviously the SAG are trying to get video game stuff on board, right?
They said they said go ahead and do that, I believe.
How big of an impact will it have on Outlaws? Or is Outlaws like in those stages ready to go?
Yeah.
I still don't believe Outlaws is going to hit March. If it does, I think it's miraculous. But like, so like, if that happens, you can see like a lot of video game delays. So you might not have Outlaws to like fill the time.
So as Drew says, Star Wars Outlaws is still filming.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, and when it came to Ragtag, my really good sources on Ragtag like told me that there was almost like a whole movie like you could watch around it, like from what they had already done at that point. So on that game, before they did like a lot of the stuff, they had done a lot of the cutscene filming and the captures and stuff. But Outlaws seems to be like having a very fast paced like go. So I don't know anything about how that industry works like in a really deep way. So I might be incorrectly speaking about that.
Like, but before we got the announcement of its release date, they were like, they want it within this like fiscal year. But like their sources, I'm assuming people working on it. So realistically, it needs like a year on top of that, right?
Yeah. So, and then after it says Nick's mocap is done, but they were still filming as of July. So they and July, June, August, September. So that was about that information was like 3 months old-ish now. That's 3 months more of stuff they could have done. So
like it could get impacted by it. Like obviously the actress won't be allowed to go and promote it anyway.
Yeah.
So it depends how much they want to rely on that sort of promotion. I don't think they would rely on it very heavily.
Yeah. I like that actress. All right. We'll be back tomorrow. So everybody have a good day. Oh, and scoop from Rob. Leslie Headland is directing Outlaws.
So Leslie wrong.
She is Weinstein's personal assistant. Therefore, you know what that means.
Yeah.
All right. Rob, I'll see you tomorrow on the show, man. I missed you. I missed you today, but we just didn't have the time. But thank you, Bespin, for coming on and talking about your articles with us today. And I'll see you in a bit. And everybody, thanks for the super chat today, dude. I appreciate it. And we'll be back. Blue, and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye. Say bye, Bespin. Say bye.
Bye, Bespin.
Be a good boy.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.